Hello everyone, welcome to Retro Resale, where I show you how to become a responsible hoarder and make money buying and selling retro computers. This time we're talking about Bulgarian Apple II clones. Yes, for some reason, Bulgaria has a long and proud history of Apple clones, some very funky ones actually. They're totally unheard of in the US, but compared to other Apple II clones, there were many, many more made because they were the standard computer in Bulgarian schools. Every Bulgarian I've talked to seems to have childhood memories of these things, and apparently they were in use until fairly recently because you can still teach basic programming on them. For years, I stared in amazement at this listing, which is still up actually. It's hard to believe what you're seeing in these pictures. The computer is such a strange looking thing, like a small toy blown up to full size. It actually looks like a computer carved out of butter. And, well, hey, that's kind of an original look when you think about it. After seeing it off and on for so long, I realized that I want a computer carved out of butter. I need to have a computer that's carved out of butter. But the price was always ridiculously high, like $3,000. Several others were always this high too, so it just seemed like the holy grail of Apple II clones, and unfortunately unattainable because of the price. But then one day, about a year ago, the tides turned and I found this listing. It was still expensive at 2,000 euros, but I made a 500 lowball offer, and amazingly, the seller countered at 600. I mean, it wasn't guaranteed working, and in my back and forth with the seller, they hinted that it needed repair, although they weren't explicit about it. But still, one of these Pravits 82 computers for 600 euros, okay, fine, that's 717 US, but still, it's relatively cheap. It included the monitor and two drives too, so what a deal. I bought it. So I got it in, and it's not in terrible shape, really. A little messed up on the left side here, which wasn't shown in the pictures, which is kind of annoying. But the main thing is it has no power. So my friend Joel, who's much smarter than I am, he looked at it and determined the power supply was bad. So we found this extra Franklin Ace Apple II clone power supply I had lying around, and that power supply was also bad, but I ordered the necessary capacitor to fix that, which of course I still haven't replaced. So the power supply doesn't have the same internal plug as the Bulgarian machine, so the cables will have to be cut. So I'll wait for Joel to come back on that one. I don't trust myself with that. So the Bulgarian is on hold, and that's the story of the first Pravits 82 computer. And I really didn't think about buying any other Bulgarian computers. I just wanted to fix the power on this one, and then hey, life's good. But you know how it goes. I'm always taking a look at what's out there, and when the price is right, I'll buy anything. So this guy listed this computer a few weeks ago. I didn't necessarily want it at that price, but I was intrigued because it was described as working. And I clicked on the second picture here, and what the heck is this? A completely different Apple II clone I'd never heard of. He said he posted that picture by mistake, but that he had that computer available as well. I didn't really want another 82, but this new computer, that was something else. I figured out it's called an 8M, and it's somewhat newer than the 82, and it has a CPM card built into the board, strangely enough. For those who don't know, CPM is an ancient operating system that competed with MS-DOS until MS-DOS eventually won out. So the seller gave me a 650 euro number for the whole system, but I had an idea. What if I bought without the monitor and drives, since I already have a Bulgarian monitor and drives? Would that cut the price in half, hopefully? And then, if that's possible, while I'm saving all this money, maybe I would take that additional 82 as well. So he agreed to the concept, and he offered 700 euros, and I offered 650 back shipped, and he accepted. So good deal. I specifically asked him at that point to ship the computers side by side and not one on top of the other, because in that case the bottom one would certainly get crushed. I've seen it happen 1,000 times, and I know the 82 specifically is very brittle. You saw the damage on the left side. And then he proceeded to say that he did put them on top one another anyway, but he claimed the packing was so good that it shouldn't matter. He clearly was in business shipping Pravitses all around the world, so he should have a handle on packing and shipping, right? Well, here it is, in from Bulgaria.
Okay, cutting off the outer layer. Okay, now we have an empty box. Oh my God, are you kidding? What a idiot. How stupid is that? Look at this. Oh my God. This guy is a So here's the 8M, privates, 8M. Cool computer. I mean, whoa. This comes off. Super, super, super dusty. Okay, so more boxes. How stupid. Oh my God. Look at this.
Yeah, it's just completely unfortunate. I'm still really disgusted about this. A computer lives for 40 years perfectly intact, and then some idiot destroys it. I realize it's this guy's fault and not mine, and it would be destroyed shipping to anyone he shipped to, but still, being within, proximity of the destruction just makes me sick, honestly. I opened an eBay case and I got my 325 back, so it's a free Privates 82, which should be something to be happy about. But really, I'd prefer to pay the money and have an intact computer. Okay, so down to business with testing. The first thing I realized is that my current step up, step down transformer isn't enough. It only has one socket. And to get these computers working, I need a monitor and computer on 220 power at the same time. And I need to use the Bulgarian monitor I got with the first Pravits because they have matching video connectors. So I ordered a 3-port, and it's very nice and a good thing to have regardless. I'll use that in the future, definitely. Next, I realized that the video out on these is an old school BNC connector, like I remembered from my MCSE days 30 years ago. It's similar to coax, but not really. I didn't want to risk trying a regular coax cable, so I ordered a couple BNC cables. I also did some research and found out there are simple BNC to RCA adapters out there, so I ordered those too, because then, in theory at least, I could use standard composite monitors like the 1702 and sidestep the whole Bulgarian monitor thing. It seemed like a good idea as a backup plan. Plus, the 1702 uses US power, so no need for a transformer for that. So the next day I got the transformer and BNC cables in. You gotta love Amazon. So I hooked it all up, and this is what I got, a big circle. Very odd. My friend Steve, who is also smarter than I am, he told me that maybe the yoke had fallen off the back of the CRT. Not a big deal. But then I made a mistake. I saw these two round things on the back of the monitor and assumed they were adjustment controls, like XY coordinates or something. I mean, they look like adjustment controls, right? So I turned one with the monitor on and pop. Guess what? They're fuses. Very strange. Not only that, but long story short, they're 4 by 20 millimeter fuses, not the typical 5 by 20 millimeter fuses that are common. I don't know. Is that a European standard? And why are there two fuses side by side? That's very weird. Anyway, I couldn't find 4 millimeter except for these odd pond garden switchbox fuses, and those didn't seem right. I asked ChatGTP because Steve and Joel weren't around, and it told me that 5 millimeter could conceivably work if they fit in there physically and the connectors connect, which they seemed to when I tried a sample one. So I ordered a huge box of fuses for like $8. I mean, look at that. Really great deal. I have fuses until the end of time now. The next day I got the fuses and tried them out, and nothing. So I decided to go exploring inside this strange monitor. I mean, look at this crazy thing. I'm not Adrian Black, but I can definitely tell you this hinge contraption is not normal for a monitor, even an old monitor. I found a couple other fuses inside, and my eyes are literally too bad for me to see if there's even a wire in them or not. It was so faint. So I replaced them, and still nothing. Definitely there's a physical damage issue with this thing, though. There's a crack on this board here, and it's hitting the other board when it closes up, which is not good. Anyway, this is getting way beyond my skill level, so the Bulgarian monitor will just have to be fixed another day. And it turns out that's perfectly fine actually because the BNC to RCA adapters arrived.
Okay, here we are. Finally, all of the Bulgarians together and set up as much as they're able to be set up anyway. I have the BNC connectors connected to the RCA cables, which, as you can see, are connected to the front inputs on these 1702s. This is the one that's dead, so nothing to do with that. But we're going to do a first power on with these two guys. Here is the 8M. Look at that. In Russian. The keyboard has a really interesting sort of chunky feel to it. Here is the 82. Gotta be careful, it's still smashed. And there we go. Loony. They say different things, interesting. I don't know why. But this one also seems to work pretty well. And that is it.
So there you have it. There they all are. Fairly bittersweet situation. 3 Bulgarian computers, 1 fully working, 1 needs repair, 1 working but with severe damage. So could be better, but could be a lot worse. Okay, so I'm not really looking to sell these at this point, so I'm not going to do a selling segment for this video, but I might as well look at the value of these things, right? It can't hurt to know if I got a good deal or not. And also keep in mind with this one, these are computers that I actually wanted to own, so I violated my rule of always making sure there's 2 or 3 times what I pay in margin, which I'll do occasionally if it's something I just want to own. So anyway, the first Pravits, the Pravits 82 monitor and 2 drives that I got quite a while back, all in need of repair, but $717 after conversion and fees. The next 2 that came together, the Pravits 82 and Pravits 8M, after conversion and fees, it was about $828. I got $414 back though for the smashed 82, so we're looking at $414 for those 2, and the total is $1,131. So that's really not bad for 3 Bulgarian computers, 2 drives, and a monitor. It's really hard to tell the value of these things. When I search eBay completed items, I only come up with the ones I bought myself. But it's clear to me that a working one with drive, any kind of suitable monitor, shipping from the States instead of Europe, would easily go for $600. The first 82 will probably be working soon with Joel's help, and the second one does work, just needs a lot of aesthetic assistance. So, assuming I'm capable of some sort of makeshift solution for that, I'll have 3 working systems soon. So let's be conservative and assume $500 each. That gets me $1,500, and that's a good deal. I'm making money on this, and like I said, that's a very conservative estimate. Realistically, 5, 6, 7, $800, and I would come close to doubling my money if I sold them all. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll do updates as I hopefully get both these 82s into better condition. And thank you so much for watching.
Okay, so bonus footage at no extra charge. Trying to get floppy drives working with these things. These are Bulgarian floppy drives. They look pretty much like Apple, except they're not labeled with the Apple symbol and all that. I'm very proud of myself. This was all floppy and loose, and I took it apart and put it back together, and this works fine now, although this drive does not seem to work. So yeah, very unpredictable behavior. Slot by slot seems to make a difference. I put some deoxit in there because the slots were very dry and crusty. So this guy seems to work the best. I don't know why exactly. I think it's an Apple IIe clone. The Apple IIe board has a light like that, whereas this one doesn't. So it might be the difference between a Plus with not much RAM and a 2E with a little more. So yeah, Galaxian is going fine there. Has sound, black and white though, so I guess the composite, well, the BNC out is black and white apparently. So the same disc on this computer, very unpredictable. It gets to this screen, but then it kind of craps out at this point. Sometimes it gets to the next screen, but it never succeeds as far as the game. So this guy seems like the winner as far as, you know, getting all the way to the program. But these discs I have could be bad. These drives could be, you know, misaligned and dirty. I did try this drive on there and got the same result on this computer. So anyway, limited amount of success. Feels pretty good to finally see these guys up and running a little bit. Next step will be to get a joystick going. I have a box of Apple II cards somewhere, but I don't know where that box is, so I don't have the card for the joystick on hand. Otherwise I would try it. So anyway, hopefully this has been educational or at least entertaining, and I'll talk to you next time.